good day. Welcome to my YouTube channel, igama lami usiphelele xolo. If you are new here, please do not leave without subscribing. And yes, if you are a returning subscriber, nginithanda kakhulu. It's a story time. Umgosi, hlala phansi, phuza itiye, phuza ibevu, phuza wine, phuza everything. This is a story time that you want to hear. Ne, umgosi. But if you are looking for a explicit story time, it's not this one, but this one is a funny one. It's a funny story where you are going to laugh. Guys, I'm drinking my tea, my ginger tea with Herbalife beverage, instant beverage, as well as my aloe. It's still very hot, guys. It's gonna be difficult for me to it's going to burn my lips, but anyway, I'm just gonna leave it a bit so that it get a little bit colder. But tea as tea is good for mgos. Take your tea, take your bev, take anything that will make you listen to this funny story that I'm about to share. The story time is titled, you can see it on the title. It says, My Fun Date for Umoja Show at State Theatre. Or maybe let me give you the background of the story, because the story it's like a long time ago. When was this? I think it was around March 2010. It's a long time ago. It's a very fun story, and I decided, I just came back from the meeting and then I said, you know what, this is the time where I'm going to share this story before I remove my makeup. I was not really prepared for the story time, but let's not waste the time. Let's just go straight to the story. The background of this story. This story happened at the time, I think between 2009 to 2011. I was just single. I was not seeing anyone. I just took a break of dating. I just told myself, you know what, let me just take a break. I was coming from a very difficult relationship, and then I decided, you know what, let me take a break. Let me find myself. I like taking the breaks. Like now, I took the break from 2018 as we speak. I like taking the breaks. I don't know if they work for me or they don't, but I love taking the breaks. Okay, in 2009, between 2009 and 2011, I was not dating anyone. So this is when the story time took place. At the university, I will always have a student assistant that works at my office. I had this one, Zombiza umchakata, because he used to call every man. He was like, mchakata ole. People who knows this, if you are watching this, you'll know who I'm talking about, but I'm not going to reveal her name. But she was just a lady who was working in my office. She was doing a lot of doing an intern, so I was just helping her. Let me not disclose much as to about her, but the truth is that this is the lady that I used to work with at the office, and igama lakhe manje sizombiza umchakata. So umchakata realized that I'm not dating, I'm not even going out, I'm not doing anything. I was just a person. I was new at rest. This was my first year at rest. I was not dating anyone, and I think this story time happened in 2010. Yes, around March, this one. So girl used to say to me, you know what, this guy was really connected. He used to know a lot of people, like lawyers, engineers, doctors. I don't know how he met these guys, but he always knew a lot of people. He knew a lot of guys, like real guys. I can't, like any type of a profession that you can think of. That lady knew all of those, nah. So now he said, no, you know what, nah, man, you must just get into dates, like just get to know other people, just meet them. You don't have to date them, you don't have to have a relationship with them, but at least you can just go out, have fun, and you know, I'll hook you up with those people. I mean, I'll hook up with a lot of guys, and then we even have a strategy to say, if Mjakata is the guys. So even this lady will call him Mjakata, because he used to call people Mjakata. So even the guy, I'm gonna, like, you know, yeah. So he just said, no, there's this Mjakata. Well, if we don't like this Mjakata, I'm just gonna call you. You'll text me and say, like, while we are on a date and I'm with a guy and I don't like the guy and we are not vibing, And then she will then call me and say, you know what, there's a crisis at rest. Because, oh, I will text her. Okay, let me put it like this. I'll be going on a date with a specific guy. When I go there, and then the guy is like too much for me. I don't like him. I don't like conversation. We are not vibing. And then I will just text her and say, please call. And then when she calls, and then she will sound as if there's something wrong at rest, then there's a crisis. I just have to go back to rest. That was our strategy. And we did that with so many guys. If someone is not vibing, I'll go, and most of the time, obviously, I will go with my car. I never really have to be picked up. I'll actually take my car and meet the guy where we are supposed to meet. The guys, most of the guys didn't even know how the rest look like and what is the kind of the environment, how is it. So I'll just say, no, let's meet there, let's go there, let's go coffee, let's go to there, let's go to there. But this particular one that I'm going to talk about today, you know, we can call him Doc, because he was a doctor. This one that I'm going to talk about. Yeah, bo? So now Doc was a guy, like, was a very humble guy, and he was shy. He was, he was fine. He was like, I think we were vibing because we had more dates more than other guys now. So Ugailo, we used to visit, maybe, you know, those, they used to call them a home what? Like when you have a drink, like it was nice when you go inside the house and then you sit and then you have drinks, and like I'm a home's party, like I'm a home party, or I even forgot what do you call those things. It's a long time ago. Please forgive me on that. But okay, we'll go and visit a guy in his house, and then he'll bring his favorite friends, and then we chill and then we vibe. He had a lot of friends. Like every time I met the guy, he used to have a very lot, like he had like a lot of friends. Could you ask yourself, with this guy, why would this guy have so many friends when he's so shy? He doesn't look like a person who's even talkative or whatever. He was just shy. And the truth is that this guy, I have never met him when he's not drunk or tipsy. I think he was that shy. The guy that can only speak when he is a little bit tipsy or whatsoever. So, but most of the time when we meet, it will always be around people. We'll always be around people. And then it got to a point when he said to me, you know what, can we just have time for ourselves so that we can start knowing each other? I don't know whether he was like shy when we were other people or whatever, but yeah, he just needed us to be together. Guys, it's cold. Please don't come for me. Like, it's very cold. Ne? So, and then we agreed on a specific date. Okay, we're gonna go out, we're gonna chill, we're gonna just sit down together and talk and start learning, because most of the time we're always around people. Ne? So the date that he was available on, I was also already having something to do on the very specific date, and it was somewhere in March, but in 2010, when Umoja show was coming into State Theatre. So now he suggested the time, and we could not meet at the time, like just the two of us. So I suggested that, you know what, if you want us, because obviously he's always busy. He have you know, my doctors have these calls, what we call, I forgot, man, but there's just like every time their phone is like emergency calls and whatsoever. So now I always have such things at risk. So that time we were like, you know what, that weekend I'm available, but I'm having a show to watch. If you want us to meet on that day, come with me to State Theatre. Let's go and watch Umoja. He has never been into a theatre. He has never went to a theatre or watch any production at theatre. So it was the first time that he was going to the theatre. The only theatre he knows is when, like, the hospital theatre. So this time I'm introducing him into something else that he has never done. That, like, he was just thinking, a lot of the, you know, people, I think when you're talking about theatre, people are thinking about Bora, opera, whatever it is. I'm like, this one, you're gonna love it. I'm definitely sure you're gonna love it. So we agreed then. We reached a compromise to say, okay, we start going to watch the show. After watching the show, then we go and have some drinks, some food after the show. Lwafika ke usuku lolo phela lweshow, I remember that the show was supposed to start around 8. You know, people who don't know that at the theater we have to be there on time. You sit down. By the time they open the curtain or they switch the lights, you must be there seated. So I remember he said he was gonna fetch me. I agreed because at that time I was getting used to him. Like we had like so many dates before this date with him, like even if it was not just the two of us, but it was a guy that we could see that everything is gonna be fine. Then he said he's gonna come and pick me up. I said no problem. I said if you are coming to pick me up, you must come at 7, and if you are not there at 7, I'm gonna drive myself to State Theatre, because I don't want to be late for the theater. I don't want to get into a show that people are sitting down and then you are trying to sneaking in and so forth. I want to get there, get my chair and and sit and watch the show. So I told him that, sorry guys, let me just sip. I think my tea is not that as cold. It's as hot. So then we agreed that he must come and pick me up on that day. It was a Saturday evening. He was gonna come at 7, and yes indeed. And then and then he asked me, then how do we dress at theater? I'm like, no, just simple, the same way that you always come. It's normal. It was a smart casual of some sort, just the way you always wear. And I bet he came and he was dressed and then he was looking proper. I was not shy to go with him. It was okay. So he came. For the first time, he just arrived on time. I was so happy. He came and then we go to State Theatre. We get to State Theatre. Unfortunately, State Theatre at the time, I don't know, I think things have changed because now people are having their baths, they are eating, they are doing things, and they are even taking pictures and videos. And actually, that's why I was able to do that video of State Theatre, the Ushaka one. If you haven't seen it, just go down, scroll down and see some of my videos and then you'll get it. It's there on my channel. There is Ushaka show that I actually give the review on. But again, at the time, long time ago, I think this thing of Bev and whatever started after lockdown, because before then we were not allowed to actually take pictures and videos while the show. If you are not there, you are not there. You have to be there for you to see the show. Otherwise, you will hear from us who went and actually watched the show. But now it's easy. People can take videos. They can do what. But now, then it was not the case. But then, let's go straight so that I don't ramble. So we get there and we sit down. I remember we were in the middle. Like our tickets, the tickets is either the most expensive tickets are in front and then they go like that. I know. By the time I was booking the tickets, my tickets were like, the only seats that were there was in the middle. We're just in the middle of the theater. So where we were seated. So we sit down. We started watching the show. I wanna get me now Umoja. Talking about one of the shows that I know from the beginning until the end. I'll even tell you if they cut certain scenes that they didn't do this one, they didn't do. I think I've watched Umoja probably about 30 times. I've watched it at Makufe Festival. I watched it at Civic Theatre, State Theatre, Grahamstown. Like, I've watched Umoja. And the worst part is that, like, I used to take some of the dances, the song, and use them into my productions. Like Umoja, now from the beginning until the end. I know the cast, I know the people, and at the time, one of my friends was part of the cast. So he was not my friend, he was my student, but he's now my friend, very close friend. He's part of the cast. So I could not miss watching her at State Theatre. So he already knew that I'm gonna come. He didn't care how many times I'm gonna come, but he knows that I'm gonna come. I've watched Umoja so many times. So I know the show, I know the song, I know the moves, I know the cast, I know the show from beginning until the end. So now the show then started. So as the show starts, I sing along. As they sing, I sing. And I love the music. So I started singing and singing and singing. And the guy was just shocked. Like, Haibo. But he didn't know me that much, that I love theater that much. So he was just a little bit shocked. And now he was also not tipsy that day. He was just normal and sober as a judge. He did not drink anything that day. He was just sitting there shy. And then nah, if you take me to the theater, even if you thought I was shy, when I get to the theater and I'm watching the show that I love, now you will see the true colors of me. Now I sing along. I'm happy. When I get into the theater and I'm watching a show that I love, and then I sing along, even if I don't know the songs, I learn the songs during the show. So imagine, okay, how much I knew Umoja. Okay, now we started, and then so now Umoja is like, it plays for like, I think it's like two sessions. Like there's an interval. I think the first part is 40 minutes, and then there's an interval, and then another part of the show. So it was like there's an interval. Basically, the show is that long. So in such a way that we've got that 15 minutes whereby there's a break, so that maybe the cast at the back, they can prepare for the next session quickly, you know, take a breather and so forth, because there's so much dancing, singing and acting Umoja. So basically there was an interval. So the guy that I was with, he was just watching, and you could see that he loves what he sees. And then you know, he started telling his friends, yo guys, you should have just came here with me. It's so nice, guys. Yo, I never thought how nice is the theater. During the show, he was calling, hey guys, it's nice here. Yo, like I feel like I'm in VIP and what. Oh, this thing, I never thought. Wada. But now that one was fine. Then we get into the interval. Now, interval at the State Theater, there is a kind of shop or a bar whereby you can go and buy something to drink during the interval. So a guy decided to buy, you see those, is it 30 mils or 50 mils, I don't know, but ama Jack Daniels, lawa ama 50, lamancane. Guy decided to buy 5 of those, and then he drank 3 during the interval, because I think he could feel like he's not himself, because he was shy, he was sober, and he's not used to be around me alone. And I mean, I'm at the theater and I'm loud and I'm singing and I'm doing all of these things. Now I think the guy now wanted to match up with, like, as in terms of the energy. He then drank those 3. He bought 5, and then he drank 3, and then he asked me to put the other 2 in my bag. Now after the interval, we go back. After the break. Guys, this is where the funny part of the story started. Okay. Now we are going back by saying, I'm singing, she's singing, but now she's singing loud. I was singing like you, I was not singing for people to hear. Obviously to him, probably with the next person. Fortunately, there was no one next to us, but it was him, and then probably like it was not me, only me who was singing. Yeah, we were singing, but I was singing like very, very slow, like low. So guy, my say if my singing like emzimbeni ayibo aqale ke uguy sekayacula wrong lyrics, wrong tune, wrong. Useyamemeza ngisaba sathi hayibo sekayamemeza, you know, mos abo ndlebe zelanga. Kuthiwa indlebe zelanga ne? The white people, sorry, they were very angry of him because now he was loud. And then when I kept on saying, no, don't sing so loud, he will sing even more louder, because now he was like, no, we paid. They can't tell us what to do. We paid. Guys, ngithi umuntu wacula wamemeza ngaba sathe. Qeda lapho seka demand nane the 2 bottles that he asked me to put them into the bag. Ayibona. He was like, no, they can't tell us. They can't. I saw the real true colors that umuntu lapho uyabet. Abanye ke, some people were laughing. Some people were like, you don't know, like a very. Some people were like they were not impressed. I was also not impressed. I was embarrassed, but I was laughing at the same time. Embarrassed, laughing. I was just laughing because I saw something that I never expected. Guys, angasamemezi. Angasacula ama lyrics are wrong. That was another story. I will even try to put his and my hand into his mouth, and then he's like, no, and then saying, no, this is our culture, this is no. Like, he was excited by all the dancing and all these things that were taking place there at the. I'm like, okay, who did I bring here? What did it just? Who is the person that I'm with? Because now This is not the person that I brought here. The person that I came with here, he was quiet, he was calm, humble, and then no, the person like show me the real colors. Now I get best they say again. Hi. Sorry. So after the show, I just realized that this person is drunk now. Definitely now it means like we can't go to our second date, which is the date that was prepared, that the one that we actually the one that was scheduled. Remember, Umoja came with me because now I've already have my plans, and then he also had his plan. But now we ended up not going into the second date. Now I realized that now I don't have my car. At that time, there were no Ubers, there were no Bolts. There's nothing like you say, no, let me leave this guy, let me just Bolt. But now we're no longer going into the next date. But we are still fine. Mina and I, we are not angry at each other until we got into the car at the parking. Now the show is done. Going straight to the car. He has to take me back because now I can see that we can't go to a date that it was supposed to be meant for me and him so that we can know each other. Then I knew that now I know you when you are drunk, when you are really drunk. Now I know you. But it's not like I was angry at him. We only started arguing when we got to the car. When he came with his beautiful car, guys. He was driving like a BMW drop top. One of those ones that I even learned how to close that, because when he came it was open, it was hot, and then it was nice. We were just driving without closing the top. So but obviously around 10 it's colder, it's no longer like the same. But actually we actually closed it before. He taught me before we got inside the theater. I remember he just showed me how to open, how to close. Yeah, it was nice. It was a beautiful car. It was a navy blue BMW drop top. If you want to ask me about the model, don't. I'm not a person for cars. I don't know cars. I don't know. All I know is that it was a beautiful BMW drop top, navy blue. Beautiful. Now we are at the parking. We are arguing now about, I'm not gonna be going with you driving me back. It's not safe. And you know, around those times, around those areas about state theater, there's always be traffic or officers. Then they are waiting for people who are drunk there. So I'm like, I'm not going to allow this guy to be the one driving me. What if I'm not gonna make it at home? Now we were arguing at the parking, and then I'm also thinking about all the beautiful cars at the parking that is going to bump. The way he's so drunk, and I've never seen him so drunk. I'm like, I'm not going to do that. It's either way I'm going to be sleepy. Nobody. And then remember he gave me the 2 bottles to my bag. He also gave me the keys before we got out from the parking. So the keys were in my bag. So when the time is, no, now I'm gonna drive myself. Okay, it's fine. Allow me to drive myself. When I get home, I'll give you the car keys, and then you see what you do with it. But me now I want to get home. We argued up until he agrees, because he was not an aggressive person. He was not a rude person. Sorry guys, my memory got full. I don't know how. Actually, I had to delete some few videos. But let's continue. I remember the last thing that I was talking about, it was when we got to the parking, and then we were arguing about driving his car. He even told me on the spot that he has never gave any woman to drive his car, his BMW. But anyway, he finally agreed, and then I took the car. Oh, it was nice, driving very well. And I was not good with driving automatic cars at the time, but it was very nice. I knew how to drive it, but I've never been used to drive it at the time. So I drove back to my rest. We went, and then on the road he was already sleeping. You can imagine what was going to happen to my life if the person even got into the driver's seat. But he was on the passenger seat, and then on the road he was sleeping. By the time we get to the university, he was like pop drunk and sleepy. He slept. I remember when we got here at the race, and then I just asked the security guy to say, you know what, here is the key of this guy. I'm getting into my house. I'm going to sleep, and then please look after him, and then make sure that by the time he want to go, he can be able to leave, and he must be sober. I remember I came back, just took a shower, and then I slept. because our social, our university especially at the time, it was very safe. I knew that nothing was gonna happen, especially with the kind of the security guards that we had then. So they were very good, and then we were so used to it, and we were so close to them, and then it was easy for me to go and ask him to actually look after this date of mine, to say, this is my friend, please, I just don't want him to drive the way he is right now. Just make sure that by the time he's driving out, he is sober enough to drive himself. So I left him sleeping there in the car, gave the security guys, and then the security guard then told me, I think around 2 a.m., you know, when you feel guilty that you left someone outside whom you were with. It's like I could not sleep, and then I woke up, I went down there, and then when I got out, and then the security guy told me, he just laughed and said, no, this person just left 10 minutes ago. He was okay at the time. He probably said sober up, like he has put like in a car, especially in the times of like the morning, the basically like almost the real morning. It gets cold around 2 a.m. It was cold. So I woke up and go and check. I said, maybe I must just get that guy to come and sleep in the dining room, whatever. But I just did not want, because I was just going dates to different guys. I did not want people to come to my house, inside the house. So already I knew that that guy, if I bring this guy and sleep here, because the way he was on that state that he was, it's gonna be a problem. So, but when I got out around 2 a.m., and then the security guard was just laughing and saying, you know, this guy just left 10 minutes ago. He was okay. He was fine. It looked like he could reach home. He was just asking himself where he is. And I was like, no, yeah, at the university. I explained. Then he remembered that he was with me and so forth. And then said, no, go. You're going to talk to Spelly the following day. For now, you can just go. And then my guy, I think for the coming 2 weeks, we didn't speak a lot. I just checked him on the following day, how are you feeling? And then he was okay. And then he was a little bit shy just to talk to me because of the incident that took place, because I don't think he even remember what was happening. Yeah, that was it. And it was so nice. But after that, we never really hook up after those days. Maybe we have just few dates, but I've never dated him. But he was just a friend. I don't even know what happened to him. I don't know, maybe he left and went home back. I don't know what happened to him, because it was one of those random dates that I will always have, and I was be hooked on with this student assistant, or my assistant, that always used to hook me with so nice and professionals and good guys. But I never dated any of those. It was just a nice thing that was happening. So guys, hope you enjoyed the story time. I hope you got the fun from the story that I just shared, because for me it was a really fun story. Maybe I'm not good in sharing funny story, but this one was a fun story. So I had that date that I had. I enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the story that I just shared. And let's just end here. If you listened up to here, this is the end of my fun story. And please guys, don't forget to like, to share, to comment, and actually do some if you have ever had such a date that is similar to this one, the embarrassed. Even if it's not embarrassed, I was not that embarrassed. It was just people who were making me feel like, who am I bringing into the date? I was not embarrassed. No, for me it was really fun, because it was like, I've never thought. But anyway guys, if you have ever had a date similar to this one, please share. How did it go? Otherwise, let me see you on the next video or story time. Bye.